so we own it.
Welcome back. My name is Wathi and this is Detox O'Clock with Wathi. As always, it's a pleasure to have you right here with me. If you are new, karibu sana. It's a pleasure to have you here. You can click on the subscribe button so that you can become a part of this great family. And if you are a regular here, manze, thank you so much. God bless you. God akukeep. God akuzidisha kabisa. As in just be blessed beyond what you can imagine or even pray or ask in the name of Jesus. So today, I want us to talk about offense. You heard me, right? It's a topic that we all, okay, not all, but most of us don't want to talk about because it could get to very hard and bad levels, and especially when it's our friends, we had trusted them, maybe with some parts of our lives or some kind of responsibilities, and unfortunately they disappoint us. What do you do? And specifically, I want to talk about offense amongst brethren. Maybe people that you have been fellowshipping with in the same church or in a fellowship somewhere, maybe a house fellowship or something. How do you deal with offense in such a setup where, for instance, you were not expecting someone to do what they did to you, you were not expecting someone to go against you or to betray you, being unloyal and all that kind of things. How do you deal with offense, and especially amongst brethren? Well, let's start here. You can be so offended until you start to question if actually someone is really born again, or if they were pretending for a while, or maybe they have just backslidden, or such kind of questions. So today I come with 5 solutions that I sat down and came up with as I was thinking about this topic, because I believe we all get offended. So the first thing to know about offense is that it is almost inevitable. Why? Because number one, the Bible tells us that in this world we will have trouble. And if you all know, because I kind of know that you know that people can be trouble, as in they can be real, they can suck, people can be trouble, people can be a nuisance. And so God tells us that we should know that there will be trouble in this world, but then don't be worried because he's already overcome the world. And the second thing is Jesus talking about forgiveness. He says forgive 70 times 7. And that's crazy, because I'm like, why would I forgive someone when they sin against me 70 times 7? It is because he knew that people can be a real pain. They can really be trouble. They can offend you over and over again, step on your toe, hit you a blow, and sometimes not even apologize. I see on the social media people say that sometimes you can even lay down for people to walk on you, and they tell you, no, your back is not flat enough. People can be trouble. And I'm not talking like that because I am not trouble. I know that I also make my good share of trouble, and I'm so sorry to everyone that I've troubled. I don't mean to. I'm just human. Yeah, so the first thing, as we have said, is please understand that offense, and especially in church, is inevitable. Do not expect us to live perfect. The second thing is that offense comes from the closest people. If I'm not close to you, there will be 0 chances for you to get offended. Even if I did something that was wrong, you might feel hurt, but it will not be as painful as if it had been done by someone who is closer to you. Offense sometimes, and most times, comes from the closest people. So as you relate with your friends and with your fellow brethren, know that the same people that you hang out with, the same people that preach to you, the same people that encourage you when you are down, could be the source of your offense just right the next minute. So you should live with your heart open to such kind of moments when you have to be offended by the people that you have been sharing faith with. So the third thing is we need to differentiate being human from perfection that comes from being a Christian. I know there is that expectation of, you are born again, you shouldn't be doing this. You are born again, you shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have stepped on my toe in this way or that. But we also need to leave room for offense. Remember, people like Peter, the disciples of Christ, they had walked the journey with Jesus since he began his ministry. And a whole 3 years down the line, after seeing all they had done, one of them could actually betray him. Another one could actually deny him 3 times. And the rest of them, after he died, they went away fishing, even though they actually knew him. I mean, we are human beings. And despite Christ being in our lives, we still have that room. We are not perfect. Only God is perfect. And so understand that we are not perfect. We are human beings, very much capable of committing offense. So when offense is done to you, relax and remind yourself that, okay, he or she was human. And so no matter how hard or how bad I feel about this situation, I kind of understand, because I'm also human, and I fail big time. I mess up big time. I offend people big time. And then the fourth thing is something that I was taught by my big sister. I call her Mama, Faith. And this is what she told me. She told me that you can get to a place and decide to not take offense. Wow, I must admit that honestly, that's something that I'm still working on. But I think the steps that I have taken so far have been worthwhile, and I would advise each of you that is watching me right now to actually do it. To decide in your heart that if someone comes in such a direction, I'm not going to take offense. If someone does something against me, I'm not going to take offense. It might be hard because your feelings, your emotions might be involved. You might have invested a lot. Maybe in the friendship, you might have had high expectations, but you need to decide to not take offense as easily as maybe you have been taking offense. Over some time now, for a while, for a good amount of time, I used to have this issue where I would take things so personally, and I would get offended quite frequently when people did things to me, when people said things to me, even though they didn't necessarily intend bad things. I would take offense so bad. I'm still working on it. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I must say that it's hard. It is hard to decide that, okay, no matter what happens, I am not going to take offense. I'm going to relax. The relationship might be damaged, but I decide by myself that I'm not going to hurt inside because of something that someone did against me. There's a famous quote that says that most times the outcome of situations is 90% your reaction. 10% is what is done to you, but 90% is how you react to it. So you decide not to take offense. And the fifth thing is to ask God to help you to heal and accept people again, regardless of the pain that has been caused. You see, sometimes we live in denial. I'm just reminded of something that my big brother, Pastor Cyrus, said. And he said that sometimes we live in denial, even when we have been offended. Just because the person who has offended you, you were not expecting them to offend you, does not mean that they did not actually offend you. So you need to get to a place of accepting that damage has already happened. You need to get to a place of accepting that, well, I had trusted this guy, but they have broken my trust. You need to get to a place of accepting that I expected much more, but they did lesser, regardless of whoever it is. Because if you do not do that, then you will not deal with it adequately. And then ask yourself, what will I have done? What will he have done differently? And then now that he did not do it, what can I do right now? Is there something that I can do? And that is going to help you to get a clearer perspective of whatever it is that happened. And then if it is something that you can actually go ahead and repair the broken relationship, my deepest advice would be do it, but do it with precaution. Someone once told me that God commands love and forgiveness. He does not necessarily command friendship. Okay? So I'm gonna leave you to think about that. But I will tell you that if you have been offended to a point where you feel that your trust has been broken and where you do not have confidence in that relationship no more, my deepest advice would be take time before you rebuild that relationship. Accept the person, love them because that's a command. Forgive them, it's a command. But deal with people at an arm's length for the sake of your heart, for the sake of your life, for the sake of your trust again. Giving people chances to break you is a dangerous game. You can do that as long as you know that you know what you're doing, you have confidence, you have healed. But as long as you are still dealing with that pain, you can take some time off, deal with these people at an arm's length, just deal with the issue with the utmost patience, taking your time. And as I finish this up, I want to make this very clear that offense in church will happen. It will. There are some people in church who have given loopholes to be used by the enemy. And so, when they give loopholes and they are used against you, it's going to happen, my friend. And so be ready for it. And this should not be an opportunity for you to church jump. Hallelujah, brethren. I know that's a very controversial topic. Probably I'll get someone who is a little bit more qualified to talk about this. But I have picked that it is very important to know that offense will happen most likely in every church that you go to or in every fellowship that you go to. So when you are offended in a certain fellowship, deal with it and stay there unless you were not benefiting from that fellowship. But if you were comfortable before this offense happened, please stick there because offense will happen in almost all fellowships. Yes, so that's my 2 cents for today. Thank you so much for being here. Please hit the subscribe button below, like and share this video with your friends, and I will see you again when we drop another new video. Thank you and God bless you. My name is Wathi.